Hey everybody, I just wanted to say something really quick about our upcoming Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories playthrough. When I say upcoming, by the time you see this video, it's probably already started. But I just needed to kind of preface a bit of what we're going to be doing with it. This is sort of an intro video, I guess you would say. I've had a lot of people comment and say, Jacob, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories is a pretty tedious game. It's got a lot of filler, it's got a lot of grinding, and you have to build these maps as you go through it, and it's a very tedious, long game with a lot of filler, and those complaints are very valid. Chain of Memories has a lot of filler in it and wastes a lot of your time if you're trying to get through it very quickly or trying to do, a playthrough, for example. Which is why we have basically decided to play this game in the fastest possible way that we can on screen as sort of a filler-reduced version of Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. You may be noticing, if you're familiar with how the game is structured, that I'm walking between different rooms in the game during all this footage, but there's no enemies there, and I'm just kind of blasting through all of them, and all of the rooms are already opened and completed and completely cleared of enemies. This is because what we have done is, I pre-played basically the entire game, and every single time we got to a new floor, I would generate all of the rooms, kill all of the enemies, generate some extra ones, and kill some more enemies for grinding purposes, but not open any of the story rooms, and then create a save file. So every single time we were actually playing it and recording it that we got to a new floor, we just reset the game and loaded in a save file where the floor was already finished, and we just walk between the story rooms and complete it instantly. There are maybe 1 or 2 Disney Worlds in the entire playthrough that take more than 1 episode. I seriously think there are 2 or 3 Disney Worlds in this game that take 2 episodes. I don't think there's a single one that takes 3, and most of them only take 1. Most of them are 1, 20-minute long episode. We go through this game fast. This is a filler-reduced version of Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. All of the stuff in the hallways, obviously, is preserved. All of the cutscenes from the Disney Worlds are preserved. We just blast through the gameplay as fast as possible, and I'm also vastly overleveled. So while a few of the major story bosses give us a bit of trouble, a particular ice user, for example, held us up for quite a while, for the most part, there's no needless deaths, there's no time wasted, we just go through the game at Mach Speed. So if you've ever been turned off from playing Chain of Memories or even from watching it because of the ridiculous amount of filler in it, just how the length and the general kind of wasted time almost in some huge chunks of it, this is the way to, I would recommend watching it. I mean, obviously you can't play it this way because you'd still have to, do all of the playing that I did to fill all these rooms in. But if, you could never get over the barrier of the combat was just too high, you couldn't figure it out, or you just didn't want to go through it because there's just so much just junk to wade through, we have cut this down to its fastest form, basically. You will basically never see me in a menu editing a deck. You will never see me creating any rooms. You'll barely even see any standard encounters. It's basically like watching the cutscenes and boss rushes with a few little bits of combat here and there. We didn't blast through every single world like this. We played the first floor, Traverse Town, normally, though we did cut a lot of it from the actual episodes, and we played the last 3 floors of the game normally, but again, we cut huge chunks of it out, so it still goes by much faster than it would otherwise. Even the footage that you're seeing in this video, most of the footage that you're seeing right now is sped up in the actual episode. So most of the footage you're seeing here that's 30, 45 seconds long or whatever is like 5 seconds in the episode. We do fast forward and skip to the actually important bits. Now, because of the way the game is structured, there will be a few episodes that are perhaps a bit shorter than stuff we had for the first playthrough. Since there's a lot of stuff happens in the hallway segments between the floors, there are a few episodes that are only going to be like 12 or 15 minutes long that are just the hallway segments. So we could have the entire Disney World kind of contained in one episode instead of having a 30-minute long episode with hallway and then Disney World. It gets cut different ways in different places. It just kind of depended on how long it took us to get through a hallway segment or how long it took us to get through a Disney World. Basically, if there is a boss in the hallway, it's probably going to be its own episode. those of you who have never played Chain of Memories are so confused by everything that I've said, I'm sure. But whatever, there's a link, there should be a link appearing on the screen momentarily to Part 1 if you are interested in watching us play through Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, the HD version for PlayStation 3. If you've never been through it before, I hope that you enjoy it.